now, as a result of things that I learned in the legal funnel program, I have a way to really have a marketing machine that is, accurate and predictable in terms of the number of leads that I need to generate, numbers that we close in order to gross a certain amount every month. So now being, just over a year in, we, by the middle of October, doubled our revenue.
Yes. Can you share with us some background? When did you join Legal Funnel? And let's take it from there.
All right. So I joined in October of last year. So October of 2021.
Almost over a year now.
Yeah.
Over a year. And where were you at with your law firm at that time?
I've, tried to grow it and, stripped it down, tried to grow it, strip it down. At the point of joining Legal Funnel, it was just me and my assistant at the time. And I was just trying to figure out, what those next moves were going to be. Ended up seeing on Facebook, seeing your ad, once, then retargeting. I'm like, okay, this guy at least has Facebook ad figured out. We just book a discovery call, after watching videos and seeing the testimonials. And, to be honest, the name Legal Funnel was intriguing to me because I saw funnels and I had been on some level introduced or some familiarity with click funnels. And so I was like, well, maybe this guy has, click funnels figured out. I thought like it was really only going to be about that. And that was intriguing. But then, you were talking about, review systems and, automations and productivity tools and all these different type of things that were like really speaking my language, because I was really at a point where I was just frustrated. I was frustrated. I didn't understand why, it wasn't enough for me to just be a good lawyer. Right. Because that's sort of the naive thought that we have that, hey, if I'm just a good lawyer, and everything should just work itself out. And unfortunately, that's just not the case. And law school does, no job whatsoever. And not that it's law school's job to teach us how to run a business, but it doesn't. And so you have this set of skills that, makes for you being an excellent lawyer, but those have little or nothing to do with being a good business person. And I think going into Legal Funnel, it definitely gives you a foundation to where you can move towards being a better business owner and not just a lawyer. And I think that, and we were just talking about that earlier about mindset, and your mental hurdles are nearly impossible to jump over. And that's why it's so important to have somebody to be able to teach you a new way to think. And Sam, you do just a brilliant job with, in that first session, because I think, probably people might be a little thrown off about, well, why are we talking about mindset? I want to know how to grow my business, right? And it's like, no, well, you have to start with opening your mind to new possibilities, to new ways of thinking, to new ways of doing things. In order for you to do things that you've never done before, you have to become a new person. Because if you just remain the same, you're going to get the same results that you've been getting for years, right? And so you really do have to become a new person, and that is going to require you adopting a new mindset. And so I definitely had to break, a lot of limiting beliefs. And I thought I was a pretty open-minded person, but I did have to break through quite a few limiting beliefs. And so doing that and just really not fighting what the teachings were saying and the suggestions and moving forward and taking action as a result, because you're asking like what became of it. So now being, just over a year in, we, by the middle of October, doubled our revenue. So from 2021, so for 2022, by October, we doubled what we did last year. That's pretty crazy. I mean, 100+% growth is pretty phenomenal. And so, it's been an interesting road, a lot of learning, a lot of, mindset shifts and everything. But yeah, it definitely feels good to, to go and look at the numbers and realize, oh, wow, like we're tracking for something special. And I'd like to be able to do that again for next year. And there's, I have a pretty predictable way to know how that ends up happening and how I make that happen, versus when you're just hoping for that next call, going to that networking mixer to hand out business cards so you can hopefully drum up new business and going to bar association meetings and all that kind of stuff. None of that yields a predictable result. But I, now as a result of, the things that I learned in the legal funnel program, I have a way to really have a marketing machine that is accurate and predictable in terms of the number of leads that I need to generate, the numbers that we close in order to gross a certain amount every month. There's a lot of strength and security in knowing that you can do that.
Amazing. You couldn't hear me during that time because the whole time I was just smiling like a proud like a proud friend, and became friends through this.
Yeah.
Couple of points. How long were you a law firm owner until you joined Legal Funnel?
So I started my practice in March of 2010. So I was 11 years in by the time I started Legal Funnel.
Wow. And if you map out your revenue on a chart from when you started, there's a blip that goes up during that time. So the turning point, how would you explain that for yourself?
Well, I would say the biggest thing is something I was talking about earlier about the idea of you starting a business, because I think it's really important that we acknowledge that, yes, there is something special about being a lawyer, but in many ways it's no different from, owning a plumbing company or a roofing company or whatever. And rightfully so. Being a lawyer is important. I don't want to remove the importance of it, but it is a business, and just because you decide to open a business and hang your digital shingle doesn't mean that clients are just going to come in left and right and your sales are going to go through the roof. Like, to every business there are different divisions. You have a marketing division, you have a sales division, you have fulfillment, you have all these customer service departments, all these different type of things. And unfortunately for us lawyers, because, and I don't know where it came from, but just we have this idea that you start this law practice and you're just going to have clients, you're just in for a big heartbreaking surprise that that's not the case. And so one of the biggest things was that you do have to market, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. In fact, it's not. And if you have an amazing service that helps people and changes lives, then you have a duty to figure out how you can get your message out to as many people as possible. And so then you learn in Legal Funnel that you either are going to do it through labor or you're going to do paid. So you're going to do organic or you're going to do paid, right? You have to pick one. And if you have all the time in the world, then maybe you have the time to do organic. Otherwise, you should do paid. And that's how you're going to be in contact with, or how people are going to be able to contact you that need your services. So once I was able to really say, okay, I do need to, advertise, and that's not a bad thing. And then, so then when you do that, right, if you don't have a funnel and you're just sending people to a website, then you realize, okay, that's the big red X. That's a bad thing, because, people, they don't know what to do. They're going to end up going on your About Me page, and then they're going to go to the case results, and then they're going to go to, case processes, and then they might leave with that information, and then you never captured any of their information. They don't know how to get back to you. They probably can't get back to you, and then that lead is lost forever. Versus having, a funnel, which is designed to capture that information and guide them from prospect to actual client. And that process is really, it's vital. It's, there's no possible way that I could be doing what I'm doing right now without having, that information. And that was the click. The teaching on, the funnels and the proper use of them really made all the difference. And I'll say thanks again, but I really, there's not too many like services or things that you can buy that like truly change your life, but Legal Funnel has changed my life, and I'm eternally grateful to you, Sam, your Legal Funnel team, Amanda, who was amazing and helped me out in the initial discovery call and was, helpful throughout the process, and, a great motivator through this. Legal Funnel is amazing. And, I only have the most high praises for the program and what you do, and just how much you care about your students. So thank you very much.
Amazing, yeah. Jamal. I just want to add a couple of points, kind of summarizing the points being made. One is people expect, instant change in life. Whenever you have that kind of mentality of just like expectations or short-term expectations, that usually doesn't end well. We take the different approach where it's progression over long duration of time, little by little. We understand that because that's what it took all of us to get here, and that's what we try to instill. So progression. Second is that you shared is what got you here won't get you there. A lot of people, a lot of law firm owners that are very seasoned and they're veterans in their field. That's amazing, but the year that we're in and the amount of technology and everything that's happening, change happens a lot faster than it did before.
Yeah.
And what used to take years to change, now it's months, and even will get to eventually weeks and days. Sometimes it'll be like what worked last week won't work this week.
Absolutely.
So accepting that and staying on top of it, right? So like staying on top of what's working now and sharing that information with each other inside a community that we can collaborate and share freely.
Yeah. It will blow your mind the way, even learning about these tools. I don't know if I can mention, some of these, ActiveCampaign, Mixmax, Zapier, Loom, Slack, just using all these productivity tools. So you're not, reinventing the wheel every time. You're not manually, I don't know how many, hours of my life I've bought back by utilizing these tools, but the automations are so worth it. Automations, then the delegation, you learn that there's only so many hours in a day, right? So you take away the 8 that you have to sleep, because I was that guy that said I only need 3 hours of sleep, or I can pull the all-nighters, and really like wore that as a badge of honor, the long hours and all of that. And that's something that's pretty rampant within our profession. And you realize in Legal Funnel that, hey, what you said, what got you here won't get you there. You really do have to eliminate that, because it's not going to be you pulling the sled like that, that hard labor that's going to get you where it is that you really want to go. Like, you have to learn how to delegate, and you have to relinquish control. It's like, yes, we know that you're the best and you can do everything, but the reality is, there are people who will do a million times better than you in these different things. And you have to, build a team around you, people who you can delegate to. And it's not just giving assignments and then, just letting them go. No, having your standard operating procedures, having, training tools in place. Like I said, utilizing Loom and being able to create videos that can be used over and over and over again. I created a customer, I think it was like 10 points of customer service that I ended up putting on YouTube, and, just because, for full transparency on what companies, and not just law firms, but just 10 things that customers expect that we should be delivering. I put it on Loom and everybody could look at it. And it's a reminder, hey, every few months, go back and look at that video and make sure that we're on point with that. But all these different tools that I think are being used in other industries, but the legal industry is very much a dinosaur in a lot of different respects. And so, by utilizing these tools, learning how to use them, because it can be difficult too. It can be very intimidating. You hear of these, applications with these weird names, and you don't even know where to start. And actually, you don't even know they exist. Like, I had no idea these things even existed, let alone how to properly use them. But, you get into Legal Funnel and Sam's walking you through, hey, get this account. This is how you set it up. This is how you use it. And just watch how many hours you're able to save, and hours become days, which become weeks, which become months of your life that you're getting back, so that you have time to do the things that truly matter. So
amazing. Important. Last thing is, for anybody who's on the fence for joining Legal Funnel, what would you tell them?
Anybody who's on the fence, I would say do it. Just do it. Like, if you're thinking about it, then you already know that things could be better. You might see other lawyers who seem to they're always busy. They always have, I don't say like they're busy, but their firm is always getting new clients, and you're wondering like, how is it that it seems like it's feast for them, but it's famine for me. And I wish I had more clients. I wish I had a true business versus just a practice as a sole practitioner. I wish, I had something more. And the reality is, paying for knowledge from the right person is always going to yield a solid result. I definitely have recouped my investment and then some joining Legal Funnel. Again, like I said, my firm has doubled its revenue by October, and the plans are in place for us to be able to do that again. So if there's not, I don't know what else would be a bigger sell. That's it. Yeah, you just do it. Pull the trigger.
And I'm 100%. I see it that you're gonna double it by next year as well. So, Jamal, thank you so much, man. Been a fun journey. We're gonna continue that, and appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, Sam.
Lawyer Nation, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, take a moment right now to subscribe right below and turn on the bell notification to get notified every time I post a video. Because right now I'm posting 5 videos a week, providing lots of value to lawyers. So click right here to subscribe, and to watch the next most relevant video, click right here. Go do it. Go watch it.